there's now this ingrained idea and pattern in your mind, not your heart, but in your mind, that's telling you, oh no, what if I fall for another one and then it doesn't happen? So there's like this thread of fear. I have a history of attracting emotionally unavailable men, but I've done the work and I'm ready for a real relationship. I recently met someone and dun 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 dun. I don't know. It's not showing me the rest of it. So maybe you're still typing on there. But let me dive into just the energy of what I'm feeling with the first part of it. I have a history of attracting emotionally unavailable men. There's an element to that that's also a reflection for you to just go deeply into, where am I emotionally unavailable? I feel like you're very emotionally available, but there's certain pockets, if you will, that are less available. And I know and feel that you've been working on getting to what all of those things are. So I don't think that's anything new, but it's another invitation to like, yeah, I really feel into, what is unavailable within me? What is it that I don't love about myself? Or what is it that I'm avoiding or don't want to feel? Okay, so then let me go into the next part of it. I recently met someone and we have an amazing connection at all levels and big love fast, but he is currently emotionally unavailable. I thought I had broken this pattern. Why do I keep attracting this kind of man? And the word that comes to mind is patience, but also to just really feel into what area of myself is still emotionally unavailable. I feel like, as I said, a big part of you is available, but there's still something in there. Like, what is the fear? It's either fear or love. And what is that fear? What is that thread that is just running within you that you just, it might be so like a nuance, like I always like to think of these things as like an invisible stitch, because if we could find it, we would just pull it and we just get rid of it. And then we'd attract someone who's available. But it feels like there's a level of patience, and that because you're so intentional about the type of person you're wanting to call in, that there is a level of patience that has to happen for you to let them do their work so that you guys can meet at the time that's ideal and perfect. And there's also a feeling of I can feel it, but I can't get the word right now. A feeling of desire, but it has a little slant to it. Like sometimes when we really, really want something, we actually kind of push it farther away. And so that comes back in my mind to that fear, that sometimes there's something we want so much that we actually do things to sabotage it, that we actually create situations that don't give us what we want. And as bizarre as that sounds, it is a lot of times what happens to us, because we fear what we want the most. And so that might be what the thread is for you in what feels emotionally unavailable, is because you've had these situations in the past. There's now this ingrained idea and pattern in your mind, not your heart, but in your mind, that's telling you, oh no, what if I fall for another one and then it doesn't happen? So there's like this thread of fear. And I don't feel like it's the strong thing. I don't even feel like it's conscious fear. I think because you're so ready to have this, but it's that invisible stitch. It's that thread that's deep in there, that if you actually got exactly what you want, you might actually be scared. You might actually be scared because it would be asking you to go into the depths of your heart. It would be asking you to be so incredibly vulnerable, which I know you are and you're ready to do, but I think there's another level here. I think there's a whole nother level of vulnerability and a whole nother level of self-love. I know that you have an incredible self-worth. And so it feels like that's not the issue, although there's always, again, these little invisible stitches or these little threads, these little nuances, something about ourselves that we're still wanting to just tweak and align in a way that allows us to really have an open heart. And so as you navigate through this situation of attracting someone else that's unavailable, it feels like it's just doing what you're doing, or at least what I feel like you're doing, which is keeping your heart open. In the past, I feel like you might have closed your heart a little bit because you were like, I don't want to feel this again. And so it's to break through this pattern that's only in your mind, not in your heart, because your heart's ready, but your mind is creating some kind of a narrative, some kind of a story. And so I think doing some of that work where you're getting your heart and your mind in better alignment, I don't like the word better, stronger alignment, where you're really just continuing to walk through like, hey, my heart is open, and I'm looking to attract someone else whose heart is also open and has a vibrational resonance with me that's very similar, because then we can move forward. And I know that this person does have a vibrational resonance that's close to you, so that makes it extra challenging, but keep going and keep going and keep going. And you never know when people have their own little breakthroughs, and when they do, they come back around in a different way. And so we have to trust that the universe, our higher self, whatever it is that you believe in, really has us and is really there for us, and that this is happening for a good reason, and that maybe just kind of taking yourself off the cross, that there's something that you need to do. Even though I did just talk about finding that invisible stitch and pulling it, so maybe adding to that is continuing to say, show me how to do whatever it is that I'm called to do, to pull this, to attract that partner, so that I'm ready and they're ready, and we're both available at the same level that we want to be for that joining and for that divine complement to really come into your life. So hang in there. I know you're doing the work. I know you're high vibe. I know it's all there. I know you're in your heart. It's just keep asking to clean up those little nuances that are coming through the mind, and get that heart mind aligned even more. Hopefully that's helpful. I'd love to hear. You can write in the comments if there's anything that comes forward for you in that, or if there's anything you want me to clarify. I so love that you're here with me each week, Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can go to bethbell.me. You can do your state of the heart assessment and get the 5 steps to healing your heart back to wholeness. Many of you may be in wholeness, but there's always things that come along that break our heart. People, places, things, situations. So it's important to be able to get ourselves back to that blissfully neutral state, and to continue to build our spiritual toolbox so that we can get through all of what life is offering us, especially right now with all the chaos that's happening. And there's the Awakening and Healing Handbook. There's lots of different modalities that I list in there that can help you really break through some of these themes that you have in your life that you no longer want. There's also the Psychedelics Resource Guide. So if anything I said about San Pedro or ceremonies in general, medicine ceremonies, spiritual medicine ceremonies, there's some really great insights in there. And I think some things that'll help guide you, especially if it's your first time wanting to go in, or maybe you've done several. I think you're still going to find some really juicy nuggets in the Psychedelics Resource Guide. And then, of course, the Herpes Handbook. That's something that can help you if you, not necessarily that you have herpes, but you may know someone who has had a situation, who has had this virus shame, and that's really trying to work through it. Please don't hesitate to share the handbook. It's been really helpful for a lot of people. I can't wait to see you again next week, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And until then, wishing you much bliss and love on the journey. Namaste.